Hi, I'm Warwick Beauchamp from Online Marketing, keeping you up with the play with marketing on the internet. The series of videos you're about to watch have grown out of my 10 years experience as a business coach and the real world challenges of marketing. Pretty well everyone I talk with knows something's up in the world of marketing. Yellow pages, newspaper, magazines, radio and TV are all not working like they used to. Is it the same for you and your business? Where have all the customers gone? You guessed it, online.
They're searching on Google, and more they're using their smartphones. Let's just have a quick look at a couple of graphs to prove it. Here's worldwide internet use over the last few years coming up to 2008, and I'm sure that you would imagine with me that that curve has continued to go up through until where we are now in 2011. Let's have a look at New Zealand. You can see the graphs, similar curve, growing up. 2008, over 3 million people. I believe we're now at over 84% saturation of New Zealanders using the internet. Not only are they using the internet, they're also searching on Google. These stats show us that 86% of people worldwide searching on the internet are searching on Google. The other search engines miles and miles behind. Let's have a look what they're doing in New Zealand. We're looking now at Google Trends, and you can see these lines coming through. Google's well and away ahead with the number of people that are searching on Google. Still quite a few people in New Zealand using Yahoo. Doesn't hurt to have some strategies going on Yahoo as well. And Bing's barely got off the ground down the bottom there, so I don't think we need to be too concerned about that at this stage. Neat thing about what's available on Google, you can also see through the different regions of New Zealand who's searching on what search engines. Amazing the statistics we can now get out of Google. Your customers also have a mobile phone that you can send SMS messages to. These statistics come from Wikipedia. You can see here New Zealand, 4.6 million mobile phones, population of 4.52 million. That's 108% saturation back in 2008. So did you get that? Mobile phone saturation in New Zealand is more than one phone for every man, woman and child. A fast growing percentage are also using smartphones. I know I'm loving my new iPhone 4. I'm sure you've noticed them all around you if you're not using one yourself. The iPhones, the Android phones, the smartphones that are capable of browsing the web are certainly taking off amazingly around the world and within New Zealand. So what's it all mean for your business? Do you need your business on the first page of Google in as many places as possible? We call it dominating the first page in multiple places. Do you need to differentiate yourself from your competitors on that first page? And do you need to be on the mobile network and differentiated there too? Let's have a look now at Google and what typically happens when one of your customers or prospects goes to Google and starts to search. You'll all be familiar with this search screen, I'm sure. So let's say that I'm looking for a marine gearbox. And as I type in marine gearbox now, you'll notice that Google already starts to throw up common searches for me, which relate to keywords that we will come back and talk about later. So I've searched for marine gearbox. First thing you'll notice is this area down the left hand side here where you can now choose the things that come up on that first page of Google. Most people don't, they just leave this all alone. Notice the next one down, we've got that Google has already worked out that I'm in Auckland. It's picked up on my IP address, recognise that I'm in Auckland. That becomes an interesting little piece of information when we talk further on about the maps. You'll also see that it's pulling in web pages from all around the world. If I click that, it would just give me New Zealand pages. Most people don't bother, and therefore you need to be optimizing your material on the web so that it competes worldwide, if you like, on this page, but at the same time recognizing that Google is going to give preference to people that are local to where the person searching is. So let's now talk about the areas on this first page of Google. The first one is what we call the pay-per-click, and that's in behind this pink shadowed area at the top and down the right hand side. You'll see these are adverts. You might have heard of them as AdWords, Google AdWords. It doesn't cost you anything as such to put an ad there, but it does cost you when anybody clicks on it. You pay per click, and it can be quite expensive, so you want to have a pretty smart strategy going on if you are advertising in this AdWords area. So that is number one. The first area on the first page of Google that does always come up is AdWords. Not always at the top, but always certainly down on the right hand side, and number one. The second one that's come up on this search happens to be videos. We've got videos here that Google has pulled in from YouTube are about marine gearboxes, and funny enough, both of these videos are surprise coming from one of my clients who's optimized some videos with keywords, put them up on YouTube, and Google's noticed that and pulled them in here right at the very top. The next part of the page, in fact there's only one listing that's come up in it at the moment, is the natural listing area here, where you've got one of his competition, Pacific Driveline. If we come further down the page, you'll see underneath the third section we're going to talk about in a minute, images, that the rest of these listings here are natural listing areas. That's Google has gone out, had a look, seen is this a useful website based on the search that I've put in at the top, and put websites in this natural listing area. So the third area now is images, and Google just happens to have thrown up these images. It may be because I used the word gearbox. These images are here because they have marine or gearbox within the name. There'll be something within the name or the alt tags of these gearboxes or of these pictures to make them show up here in images. And wouldn't it be handy if those were pictures from your website? Most people, when they're putting pictures on their website, typically just leave them with the name that came off their camera. Quite often hop on online and see images named 123.jpg or something of the like, which is an absolute waste when you could be optimizing your images to come up in these image results. Let's just recap very quickly. We've got pay-per-click as 1 on this page, we've got videos as 2, we've got images as 3, we've got the natural listing area as 4, and I'm going to talk about another part, a section of the natural listing that comes up here, and it's called directories. You'll see in here that we've got Zipleaf, that's a directory. Quite often directories, here's another one, Finder, that's a directory. Directories will show up within the natural listing area. And so there's another game for you to play to make sure that your business is listed, particularly with all of these free directories, and the right words are there on those directory listings. Lo and behold, Moon Engines, the one and only listing, and that was a free listing, by the way, that we did for this client. It's up on that first page of Zipleaf, and the interesting thing is, again, what that's doing is that's taking another position on the first page of Google, and in effect keeping a competitor out of that first page by having a directory listing relating to one of our clients. Okay, we'll have a look at this search where I've just typed in the words window cleaning, and that's all. Again, Google has recognized that I'm in Auckland or north of Auckland, and has thought, well, this person wants window cleaning, let's put a map in place. And so it's thrown up this map over here to the right hand side, which is a Google map. And you'll see that further down here on this first page there are places, listings for window cleaning near Auckland. And here's one of our clients that we've recently been doing some work with. We've got them now on the first page. They weren't on the first page at all. They were pages and pages deep. In fact, they were more optimized for the word hello than they were for window cleaning, but we've done a bunch about that, and that we've now at least got them on this first page and coming up through the rankings. This here being another area on the first page of Google that we call maps, and maps has come up in significance very much since the end of October, November last year, 2010, when Google changed the way places, or maps if you like, shows on the first page. Again, just while we're here, let's have a quick review. We've got videos again coming up at the top. It would have been really smart to have window cleaning videos if you're a window cleaner here on YouTube and link through. It's twice that videos have come up at the beginning. We've got some natural listings, a few natural listings in at the front here, and again, interesting, if you look within these natural listings, the top one is an educational website, which just goes to show the power of educating your customers. And it would be a fantastic thing for your business, I'm sure, if you had a website that was educating clients, customers on what you do. You may be able to get some superior listing coming from that, like this person here has. You'll see that there's a directory in here. Not sure what this next one is, and then of course the places listings have come in. Now here's another search where I've added the word Auckland on the end of window cleaning, and quite often people do that. They'll add the name of the area in which they live, and you'll notice on this search, because I've put the word Auckland here, the map and the places listings have jumped a whole lot higher up. In fact, the only listing that's above the places is Yellow Pages. However, the places listings are then coming straight in after it, and here we go, we've got Hello Window Cleaning even higher on this search. And now finally, let's have a look at the 7th important area on the first page of Google, which is in fact news. And I've typed in Christchurch earthquake because I'm sure some news is going to come up for that. And you'll see, sure enough, there's a news category in here popped up on the first page, and there are news articles, stuff.co.nz, etc. coming through. Now imagine for your business if you could be getting news, PR news about your business published in high profile news and article and public relations websites. Then it could quite easily be that a news article pops up when somebody searches for your products or your services on the first page. Let's have a little review now. We'll pull down this more. You'll see there are actually more than 7 places. What I call though is 7 key places that I think you're best to put your initial efforts into. So let's quickly review those 7 areas on the first page of Google. Number 1, we've got AdWords or pay-per-click. Number 2, images. 3, video. 4, news. 5, natural listings. That's where your website shows up if it's been well optimized. Number 6, the directories within the natural listings. And number 7, Google Places. Your website can and should be one of the most powerful tools you use to grow your business. Unfortunately, this isn't the case for most small and medium businesses. Most companies tend to have a brochure website, something that looks good but goes nowhere. Ideally, your website, or better yet, your complete internet presence, provides 2 functions for you. First, it gets found, and that means that it needs to be on the first page of Google, or your presence, your internet presence, needs to be on the first page of Google in multiple places. And secondly, it takes those people that are either ready to buy now or at some time in the future, and that's a key point as well. A lot of your prospects may not be ready to buy yet, but are you capturing them into a database and communicating with them in the future? So the first one is that your internet presence is found by those that are looking, and secondly, you convert those prospects onto your database and into sales. At the end of the day, it's about 2 things. Firstly, being found. Secondly, getting results and making sales. It's no longer just about your website. It's about your whole web presence, which could include your main website and the on-page optimization that you do on that website to help it come up on the first page of Google. Your mobile-friendly pages, your pages that are going to come up on the new smartphones so that people can access the information that they need from you. It's going to be your Picasa and your Panorama images, keyword named and geotagged. It could be your blog, your PR articles, your online newsletters, your Facebook pages, and your other social networking activity. Your Google Places listing and how well it's optimized. Key one right now. Who links to you and how significant their presence is. Imagine if you've got a link coming through from the New Zealand Herald or TVNZ because you've got publicity with them. We really are talking about a web here, you having a presence on the web in many different places so that that web presence of yours shows up on that first page of Google, dominating it in many places. In the next video, we'll be going over keywords. The guessing is over. Google knows what words are being searched and from where, and you can too.